Welcome to my introduction of Checkinn99. For those that don't know Checkinn99, it's an historic Bangkok cabaret bar. It was built in 1957. It was the first building on Sukhumvit Road. It's multi-story, and it became a source of entertainment dating back prior to the Vietnam War during the Peace Corps. It was set up as a rather colourful, out-of-town, word-of-mouth entertainment venue. During the years, Check-In continued providing its out-of-town entertainment area. The Vietnam War came and gradually became overtaken as the building and construction along Sukhumvit Road developed, and Check-In's streetscape became more and more disguised. It's always been an entertainment venue. However, the last 30 years saw some good times here. Revelry, great fun. It was strictly a word-of-mouth bar, but it went into decline. The old Bangkok entertainment format became out of style, and to the extent that just 3 years ago the owners abandoned the facility as being uneconomic and walked away, and scheduled the wreckers to come in and demolish the facility. That's where really I became involved in Check-In as an owner and entrepreneur at that stage. So here I was, a little favourite place of mine that had gone out of favour, had really become a rundown dump. However, I recognised the opportunity. This was a perfectly preserved Bangkok nightlife venue. It was unrenovated. It was a time capsule, and I thought it would be a marvellous opportunity to revitalise it, clean it up, and turn it into something that people really wanted to come and see. My vision centered around high quality entertainment. The girly scene is really out of favor in Bangkok, and what was lacking was a place you could come with your partner, with guests, with overseas visitors, or just somewhere by yourself, or for a romantic evening. There was nowhere in Bangkok you could go without feeling uncomfortable or embarrassed. And the other aspect was a strong sense of welcome, of hospitality, that is really difficult to find in these commercially driven venues. In those days there weren't a lot of other alternates, but what I decided was, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take over Check-In. My friends thought I was completely crazy. So with hours before the place was to be demolished, the landlord approached me, the building, said, "Do you want to take over Check-In?" I said, "Oh, come on, I don't have any money. The place has been losing money. I have no experience running a bar or a restaurant, and I'm leaving for Vietnam tomorrow." And he said, "You're perfectly qualified. Come over and sign the lease." So I found myself with a Thai lawyer who couldn't speak English, with a contract in Thai my wife couldn't read, and there was 60,000 and a year's rent in advance. He wanted paid in prepaid checks. So let's do it. I walked in here with an hour and a half to spare before the shop fitters were to strip it out. The first thing I did was bring the staff together and say, "Well, I don't know how to run a bar. You guys do. Let's share the benefits. Let's share the profits. You take care of the bar, and I'll take care of you." The next month after we opened, we operated profitably. First time in 5 years. The staff loved it. We operate without a manager here, and the aim, the vision, although it wasn't the case when I took it over, is to put a financially viable structure around some pretty special people. Staff, now entertainers. Our family band had been performing here for 14 years. And developing the concept, it basically took 18 months to turn the place around. Destigmatise it as being an old girly bar, and turning it into a venue that has become extremely popular with local couples, tourists, and the local arts community. So with a great deal of home handyman skills a room full of broken furniture, a huge clean-up job ahead. We set about to clean up the place and in order to put on a high-quality nightly entertainment program provided by a wonderfully dedicated and talented house band in the Philippines called Music of the Heart. What we did was enable this incredibly talented group of entertainers the freedom to develop their repertoire and to try things that were new and innovative. And every night they're performing 6 to 7 hours a night, 7 nights a week, all year round. Nowhere in the world will you find that type of dedication. The second part of the entertainment program took place about a year after I took it over, and that was to set up a jazz jam. Jazz jam didn't exist in Bangkok when I was here. There's a lot of lobby, very, very high quality jazz venues, but my objective was to set up a venue where musicians can come together, jam, and really network amongst themselves. We subsidise that, and it's become a highly popular weekly event for international and local players, world class, playing with the beginners. And by the way, the musicians pay for their drinks. Nowhere will you find that type of community. It's become popular. That jazz jam is not focused particularly at outside customers, but more the community of word of mouth, and it's attracted a whole lot of arts, writers, poets, and a lot of the arts community that would not otherwise have such good entertainment in a relaxed environment. But the fun part and how we stretched ourselves was our musical program, our theatre restaurant. And absolutely groundbreaking what we did. We put on the first ever productions of the Rocky Horror Show, Moulin Rouge, the full musical, and a Nicole Kidman musical. We've done Andrew's Sisters tribute nights. We've put big bands on. We've done Grease nights. We've done also Casablanca nights. We performed monologues, attracting a record crowd of expatriate ladies into the facility. Our plan for the end of the year is to put on Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. It's a full musical. It's never been done before. Do I like a challenge? Absolutely. Running a bar and nightclub is quite complex. In fact, if I'd known what was involved, I probably would have been scared off. The stock, food, entertainment, customer service, a whole lot of issues, particularly operating in the underbelly of Bangkok, that we have to deal with. We do it successfully. What would I say is the success factors in running a place like this? You've got to be here. You can't delegate your involvement in a facility. You can't expect things to run by themselves. Most important, however, is ensuring that the staff, the entertainers that we get in, our house band, share the benefits of the facility. They've got as much say as anyone else. The other success factor that you really need to do is listen to your advisors. Your harshest critics can become your strongest supporters. Even though you don't like the message, you've got to listen. And there's been a lot of listening going on to develop the concept of check-in. It didn't happen automatically. It's a step-by-step process. As I said before, turning a run-down old girly bar into a really popular venue that can hold its own with international tourists being recommended by the top hotels. It's a process that takes time, and you've got to have patience. Not everything's going to happen correctly first time, but you've got to persevere and be very, very clear on your principles and your standards, but compromising where human failings where the human element is at play. You've got to be proud of what you've created and take the time to tell people what you're doing, and they like to see you here. A success factor is you've got to be here, you've got to know your customers, you've got to encourage customers to meet other customers, a network, and also to make sure that you put as much spin on the negative aspects of the place as you do the positives. We've got a facility that's competing with the top nightclubs in Bangkok, but the roof leaks when it rains. We're right onto the street frontage. We've got a lot of building repairs that are just too overwhelming to even address. But as long as it's done in good spirit and there's a good bit of humanisation, it works. I was asked the question, what's the international spin on Check-In? An original Bangkok bar that's been virtually forgotten for about 40, 50 years. And how do we call it international? Well, we really are. We're truly international. Our customers are coming from all over the world. What we do is those that are based in Bangkok hear about it, come, bring their friends. We have ambassadors, we have backpackers, we have tourists from all over the world. There's no more powerful international platform for a venue such as this as Facebook. Like it or not, it's one of the most powerful social media forums that we have, and we use it to connect with our customers who are overseas. And we have customers that will travel from all around the world to spend several nights here of their holidays at Check-In. We have a cruise boat captain in one of the most luxurious ships in the world. Comes here if he's got more than 3 or 4 days off, just to sit anonymously and enjoy the musical program that we have. Another incredibly powerful international marketing platform is TripAdvisor. For all of its positives and negatives, we've remained a #1 night attraction ranked in Bangkok for the last 2 years. No mean feat, and we're not going to be there forever. There are some wonderful facilities being reported and reviewed on TripAdvisor, and we've been fortunate to have had such strong patronage from our customers. The thing that truly gives us international recognition, TripAdvisor ranked us as one of the top 20 hidden gems in the world across 3.5 million listings. That was TripAdvisor's own reviewers and destination experts. That's a recognition that no one will take away, and frankly makes it all worth it. My wife and I are very fortunate to run Checkinn99. We both have full-time jobs. We've got young kids, and somehow we find the 60 hours a week after those jobs and the family are finished to make sure that this place runs well. I spend at least 20 hours a week on social media, marketing it. I don't call it marketing. I just feel like I'm connecting our customers and giving them the sense of community when they're not physically able to be here. It's very, very important, and it gives us a great deal of satisfaction on the feedback we get from Facebook. Photos, clips. We have a YouTube channel of over 520 clips. It's not to commercialise, it's to keep people in contact and preserve the things that we do here for the future. Check-In's a quirky place. There's no one night here is the same. I can't predict whether it's going to be busy or quiet. But what I'm generally confident about, the people, once they come in here, they'll have a good time. They'll feel welcome. I'll do my best to engage them, and if I don't, the staff or other customers will. It's got its own momentum. We have bloggers, writers, we have bloggers telling the story of Check-In, telling some very interesting stories, and to a large extent resulted in a renaissance of Check-In. We've got crime and fiction writers use the wonderful old facility to base their plots. Several movies have now been signed up to be made in Checkinn99, and this was the site chosen as the nightclub venue for the movie The Last Executioner. Being able to draw such a diverse range of customers, writers, film producers, ambassadors, backpackers, high society property owners, and even the humble entertainers from our local go-go areas. Everyone here is welcome. We treat everyone the same. There's no pretense here. We don't even have a dress code, but what we do is we have a code that makes sure that everyone walking out of here is wearing a smile. I've also been asked to define why I think check-in is unique? Well, I think it's special. I don't know of any other places similar. In fact, what I've done, I've strived to make it a place that filled the gap. And it's something. Uniqueness has many definitions for many people. But what I'm told continually, almost continually by my entire customer base, is that check-in is unique. It is unique. It's very special. It's a hidden gem. Why? Why do people are saying that? All we've done is differentiate in two areas. Make sure that customers are welcome and left to have a hassle-free night, and to make sure that the entertainment and hospitality is the best we can provide. We have one of the smallest restaurants of any listing in Bangkok, but I don't pretend to call it a fine dining restaurant. We have cooks, not chefs. We have home-style cooking. But conversely, our steaks are some of the most popular menu items and signature dishes and word-of-mouth restaurant service that I'm aware of. The menu hasn't changed in 10 years, and neither have the prices. It's something that we provide to augment the overall experience. It's somewhere you can have dinner with your partner, spend 4 or 5 hours here, and then go down and see a show at the same time. It is unique. What is unique is also the fact that there aren't any more places like this. This is it. One of the most gratifying opportunities that we have here is support the local community, and Check-in has a very special recipient of our efforts, and that's that we support the Klong Toi Slum Kids Daycare Foundation. It's a facility that looks after about 80 in-house kids and indirectly 2,000 kids in the Klong Toi slum area. Disadvantaged kids from awful backgrounds that have 5 or 6 years in a very structured environment. Check-in, we sponsor that, along with several other venues in Bangkok, and we're very proud to be part of that, where we raise money through our band, and we allocate money to specific projects to make sure that slum kid daycare centre is well supported and is never wanting. There are quite a few of our staff who've come from the slums, and the connection is very real and very, very passionate. A fascinating and very enjoyable part of Check-in is actually to look at the faces and hear the feedback of local expatriate community that have never been into Check-in before. You've lived here for years and someone's invited them in. They've been a little bit unsure, but once they get in, the look of surprise and absolute wonderment is a source of continual pleasure for me. And the funny thing is, their comments are nearly invariably the same. I must have walked past this place 100 times and never known what it was like inside. I wish I'd found it earlier. So my advice to other entrepreneurs is really believe in your vision. Don't be put off by things that other people will say. Go for it. Take the risks. But if you take risks, always make sure that you're balanced with someone that's very, very close to you, trusts you, but can control particularly the finances, the staff issues, and the dynamics that a lot of foreigners and expats just have significant difficulty relating to. Always be ready to offset and incubate the costs of new ideas, but you've got to have secure ground. If the area of new development's on your right shoe, you've got to make sure that left shoe's on securely, otherwise you'll lose both. Always be conscious that there's going to be a tipping point for success. You got to stick with something as long as you can to make sure that it will develop into a successful formula. I'm a fortunate person. As an expatriate in Bangkok, I could have lost a lot of money here. Many do. But I'm fortunate. So many people around me have helped me. Our customers have helped. The staff have helped. Our wonderful house band. The entertainers that talk about this place. The writers, the film producers. Everyone has now become part of a sense of community with this facility, this wonderful place. I've also have the rare opportunity to come here and enjoy my own environment. I enjoy it as much as many of our customers, and the warmth that this place generates, I want to see continue for many, many years to come. Thank you so much.